the engineer, a tech-savvy dwarf. When threatened, he can use his platform gun to simply crank 90s on them haters.
So I'm making it in Minecraft now. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing, since it has made a lot, and I make content like this all the time. But anyways, let's continue with the video. So the way this platform gun is going to work is that the actual platform is just going to be a 3x3 of sponges, but then the actual gun is going to be a crossbow. And then when you load it up, then you'll actually load it up with 4 bolts. When you shoot it, then wherever the crossbow bolt lands, then the platform will get summoned in. But then if you've still got more arrows in the magazine, then it's immediately going to reload again. And then, yeah, that's hopefully going to work kind of like how it works with the platform gun in-game. And yeah, I mean, I think that'll be pretty interesting. So first, let's just start off with making the actual platforms. So first I'll just add in these 2 command blocks. So this one is just a give command that gives you the platform gun. Now, this is enchanted with piercing level 100, because I'm pretty sure the platform gun just goes through all entities, pretty much. So then, yeah, you just shoot it and then it will just go until it finds a wall. And then this one executes as all arrows, and then if there's an entity holding the platform gun close to it, then just run tag add platform. And then what I can now do is execute at E with the tag of platform, and then with the MBT of, I think it's in ground 1B, and then fill, and then tilde 1, tilde 1, tilde -1, and then like that with sponge, and then replace, and then air. So then now, if I now try and shoot this, then it doesn't work. What if I turn this distance up to 2 blocks then? Now that works, okay. And then now if I just put a kill command as a chain coming off of this, then now the platforms are also destructible. Okay, that's then the core mechanics of the platforms finished. So then just on to making it actually look good. So time for the particles and sound effects, I guess. Alright, so now all of the particles and sound effects for the shooting mechanism is in. So now if I just shoot it at this pillar, then as you can see, there's quite a lot of particles and also some sound effects for when the platform lands, which I actually think are pretty much perfect. So it's the block, basalt, place, and gravel break, and like they just mix so perfectly to create that sound. But then it's also the particles. There's some for when you shoot it, like at you when you shoot, and then there's also some for when the platform actually gets placed down. So now with the visuals in place, then I want to move on to the actual fall damage resistance. Since, like, I mean, sponges don't have fall damage resistance. Like, if I do this, I will almost die. So, yeah, like, I don't really know how I want to do that, because it's not a 100% fall damage resistance, so I can't just make it so that you have, like just no fall damage when on top of it. But it's still quite a lot. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is by using hay blocks. Now, I'm not just going to make the platforms be hay, because this just does not look good at all. But instead, I'm going to make it so that all of these blocks will have an armor stand in them that I can then detect on, and then I'll just detect if there's a player, like, I don't know, 1.5 blocks above it, then turn the block that it's on into a hay block for just like a little bit, so then it detects if there's a player directly above it, then ignore the first command block and then just turn it back to a sponge again. So I think this will work pretty well, although I do think the hay bales reduce a little bit too much fall damage, but like, it's the best option, honestly. So yeah, and I think that will be pretty easy. So now I've made it so that when you're above the armor stance, then it turns into the hay blocks, but then when you're a little bit under that again, then it turns into sponge blocks, and also when you're a little bit above that, then it turns into sponge blocks. So it's only when you are one or technically 2 blocks then above the armor stance. So now I can fall from pretty much any distance. And as you can see, the particles here are for the hay blocks. And yeah, this of course also then works for all of the different platforms. And although, you know, it can be like a little bit weird to just have those turn into hay blocks when you jump, it's not that big of a deal if you ask me, and like, it does work really well. And then after doing some bug testing and also moving around the command blocks a little bit, then now there are very little bugs. Now, of course, as you saw there, then I did land on the sponge blocks, but I don't think there's any way for me to actually fix that. So now I think that's then the actual platform's finished. Now, of course, I've still got to do like the ammo system and stuff, but I mean, right now, like, I'm pretty happy with this, you know, like, it's got the full damage resistance, it's got all of the particles that I think turn out really well, and yeah, you can still kind of see, like, you know, the hay bales pretty clearly, honestly, like, yeah, it doesn't look too good when you're jumping around at it, but, like, I think it's okay, you know, and if I want to, I can just remove the system, but yeah, I mean, now let's just move on to then the ammo system, which I think I'm gonna be doing by using item tags. Now, what is an item tag, I hear you ask? Well, it's a tag for an item, you illiterate f***. But yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give the platform gun a tag that has like a number in it, and that number is then gonna symbolize how many shots there are left in the magazine before you then have to reload, and then every time you shoot, then that number goes down by 1 until it reaches 0, and then it won't automatically reload for you. So first I've just made this command block, which first executes as all players that have got a crossbow with the platform ammo 0 on it, but then also that it is charged, so then after you've done the reloading animation, then it does run item replace entity at S weapon main hand with then a crossbow that it is still charged, but with the tag of then, I think it's right here, then platform ammo 4. So now, if I just drop this and then do that, then as you can see here, platform ammo 0, but then after I reload, and then I do that again, then as you can see here, platform ammo 4. So then that's just pretty much the reloading. So then I can pretty much just copy that command block to then make it count down. So now after pretty much just pasting these in again, then now I reload, and then now this has 4 ammo, and then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have to reload again. Which, you know, it's great, it's just that, you know, you might have seen just a tiny little detail there. The platforms don't exist. I don't really know why they don't exist, but I'm assuming it's because of just the way the crossbow is coded, that, like, the arrow is fired after it's empty, kind of. Which makes this not really work, and I'm not sure how I'm going to fix it, really. So yeah, anyways, my day is going great, by the way. Alright, so now it's a little bit later, and I've kind of, like, redesigned, kind of, like, the reloading system a little bit. So, basically, now, instead of this being, like, a separate system that can just happen pretty much whenever it wants to, then it's instead in a chain. So first first it gives the arrow the tag, so that means that the arrow has to have already been fired. Then there comes like the dust particles and stuff, and then you get the new crossbow. So this should only happen after the arrow's been fired. So now if I just reload this, and then now anyways, I guess whilst this is driving me insane, then, I mean, you guys can at least experience the time-lapse, so, yeah, time-lapse time. Alright, so now I've finally figured it out, and this is actually the next day in real life, just because this took so long. But now it's working! So now I've got 4 shots before I need to reload, and you guys want to know what the problem was? Well, that previously here, then I'd already specified that it was a charged crossbow. But I just forgot to specify that it is gonna shoot an arrow, so now I've literally just added in charged projectiles, arrow, and then now it works. Now there are still a few things that I want to make, just that I don't really know how I would make it. So for example, right, when you're gonna shoot your platform gun, right, you load it up with platforms. It's just that those platforms are arrows apparently, because, yeah, I mean, it's crossbow, you load it up with arrows. Now, it's also that, like, I'm still not super happy with, you know, the hay bales. Like, I think they're pretty obvious, but, you know, as I've already said, like, I don't know how else I would do it. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Like, I know it's got some bugs, I know it hasn't got a custom texture or anything, but still, I'm happy with it. So, yeah, I guess this is gonna be everything for this video, so if you liked it, then just remember, there's a button for that, but yeah, this will be everything for this video, so bye!